Welcome to our deep dive on happiness.
Mm.
Today we're exploring this age-old question
Yeah.
through the combined lenses of ancient wisdom and modern psychology.
Okay.
We've got a fascinating blend of sources,
Right.
from timeless texts like Ecclesiastes
Hmm.
to Jonathan Haidt's The Happiness Hypothesis,
Yeah.
which dives deep into the science of well-being.
Okay.
Our mission,
Yes.
to uncover practical insights that you can actually use to craft a more fulfilling life.
Okay.
Have you ever wondered why some people seem to handle
Oh, yeah.
life's curveballs with more grace and even joy?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to try and unpack that very idea today.
It's remarkable how these sources,
Right.
separated by centuries,
Yes.
seem to arrive at similar conclusions
Yeah.
about what truly makes us happy.
It makes you wonder if there are some fundamental truths
Absolutely.
about human well-being that transcend time and culture.
And one of the most compelling insights comes from Haidt's analogy of the divided self.
Oh.
He compares the mind to a rider on an elephant.
I like that.
The rider represents our conscious reasoning,
Yeah.
the part of us that sets goals,
Uh-huh.
makes plans,
Uh-huh.
tries to steer us in the right direction.
So the writer is basically our inner planner,
Exactly.
our Mr. Miss organized.
Exactly.
Got it.
But here's the catch.
Okay.
That rider is perched atop a massive elephant,
Oh, boy.
which embodies our automatic processes, emotions, and intuitions.
Okay.
It's powerful
Yeah.
and often unpredictable,
Right.
not always in sync with the rider's intentions.
Right.
Think of those moments when you know you should choose the healthy option,
Oh, yeah.
but can't resist that delicious, tempting treat.
I know that feeling all too well.
Right.
It's like my elephant has a serious sweet tooth.
Yeah.
But this idea of a divided self really resonates with me.
Yeah.
I'm curious, though, how does this relate to those split-brain experiments Haidt talks about?
Right.
The ones conducted by Michael Gazliga.
Those experiments provide a fascinating window into how our brains work,
Okay.
literally on different levels.
Okay.
Gazzaniga studied patients who had their corpus callosum, the bridge connecting the two hemispheres of the brain,
Right.
severed.
Wow.
He discovered that the two hemispheres could function independently, almost as if they were two separate minds.
That's wild.
What's even more intriguing is how our left hemisphere,
Yeah.
often called the interpreter,
Okay.
tries to make sense of our actions,
Yeah.
even when it doesn't know the real reasons behind them.
So it's like our left brain is constantly creating narratives
It is.
to explain our behavior, even if those narratives are totally off base.
It is.
That's both fascinating and a little unsettling.
It suggests that we may not be as in control
Okay.
of our thoughts and actions as we like to believe.
Wow.
And this ties back to Haidt's rider and elephant analogy. It's
Okay.
like our rider, our conscious mind
Okay.
might be overestimating its influence, while the elephant, which
Okay.
our emotional and intuitive self, is often calling the shots.
That makes me wonder, if our elephant has such a strong influence,
Yeah.
is it even possible to steer it in a direction that leads to greater happiness?
That's a great question. And luckily, both ancient wisdom and modern psychology offer some compelling insights on how we can work with our elephant
Right.
rather than constantly battling against it.
Okay, I'm all ears.
One key concept is understanding our inherent negativity bias.
Okay.
Essentially, our brains are wired to pay more attention to negative experiences
Okay.
than positive ones.
Yeah.
It's like Velcro for bad experiences and Teflon for good ones.
It's true. I can definitely relate to that.
right.
A single criticism can linger in my mind for days,
Right.
while a compliment might be forgotten in an hour.
Haidt brilliantly illustrates this with his research on disgust.
Oh, okay.
He points out how easy it is to contaminate something.
Uh-huh.
Think about finding a hair in your food. Oh, yeah.
But how difficult it is to purify it.
Yeah.
That one hair can ruin the whole meal.
Ugh, absolutely.
Right.
That's such a vivid example.
Yeah.
But if our brains are naturally wired for negativity,
Right.
how do we break free from that?
That's where we start looking at the interplay between our internal world, our thoughts and emotions, and the external conditions of our lives.
Okay.
Well, happiness ultimately comes from within.
Right.
The circumstances we find ourselves in do matter.
So it's not just about positive thinking.
Right.
Our environment,
Yeah.
our relationship, our work, those things all play a role.
Exactly. There's a mountain of research highlighting factors
Okay.
that contribute to overall happiness. Strong social connections, meaningful work,
Yeah.
a sense of control over stressors.
This reminds me of the example Haidt uses in his book,
Yeah.
contrasting the lives of Mary and Bob.
Right.
Mary has a modest income,
Right.
but a rich social life
Yeah.
and deep faith. Mm-hmm.
While Bob is wealthy, but isolated and driven by material success.
Exactly.
And as you might guess,
Right.
Mary reports significantly higher levels of happiness than Bob,
Yeah.
despite having fewer material advantages.
This really challenges our assumptions about what truly leads to a fulfilling life.
It's like that saying,
Right.
money can't buy happiness,
Yeah.
but with scientific backing.
Precisely. It suggests that prioritizing our relationships, finding purpose in our work,
Yeah.
and cultivating a sense of belonging
Okay.
might be more important than chasing after external markers of success.
So it sounds like external factors and internal mindset both play a role.
Mm-hmm.
But how do we cultivate that inner sense of happiness,
Right.
especially given the negativity bias we've been talking about?
That's where understanding the progress principle can be incredibly helpful.
Okay.
It's the idea that we derive more joy from making progress towards our goals than from actually achieving them.
Oh, I love this. It's about finding satisfaction in the journey,
Right.
not just the destination.
Exactly. And this isn't a new idea either.
Right.
Shakespeare beautifully captured this centuries ago in Troilus and Cressida.
Okay.
Things won are done. Joy's soul lies in the doing.
Wow. He really nailed it. That quote is going straight onto my inspiration board.
Right.
But thinking practically,
Yeah.
how can we apply this principle to our daily lives?
Well, consider how many productivity techniques are built around breaking down large tasks into smaller, more manageable steps.
Okay.
It's not just about efficiency.
Right.
It's about tapping into those mini bursts of satisfaction
Yeah.
that come with each step forward.
Uh-huh.
Think about how good it feels to check something off your to-do list.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
I've definitely noticed that when I break down a big project,
Yeah.
it feels less overwhelming,
Really?
and I actually enjoy the process more.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see how these seemingly modern productivity hacks have roots in ancient wisdom.
Absolutely. And this connects to another crucial aspect of happiness.
Okay.
Finding meaning and purpose.
Okay.
It's about moving beyond fleeting moments of pleasure
Right.
and tapping into something deeper, something that gives our lives a sense of direction and significance.
I'm really intrigued by this. It's like we're going beyond just feeling good and exploring what it means to live a good life.
Exactly. And this is where the work of Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi
Okay.
and his concept of flow becomes incredibly relevant.
All right.
Have you ever been so engrossed in an activity
Uh-huh.
that you completely lost track of time?
Oh, definitely. Sometimes when I'm writing,
Yeah.
I get so absorbed in the story that I lose all sense of the outside world.
That's it.
It's almost like entering a different state of consciousness.
That's a perfect example of flow.
Okay.
It's that state of complete absorption
Mhm.
where you're fully immersed in a challenging
Yeah.
but not overwhelming activity.
Okay.
Your skills are perfectly matched to the demands of the task, and you're completely present in the moment.
I could see why that would be linked to happiness. It sounds like a truly blissful state.
It is, and Csikszentmihalyi's research suggests
Okay.
that these flow experiences are key to living a life of meaning and purpose.
Interesting.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
Flow isn't just about passively enjoying an activity.
All right.
It requires actively seeking out challenges that stretch our abilities.
So it's not about just finding things we're good at
Right.
and sticking with them,
Exactly.
but about continually learning and growing.
Flow is about that sweet spot between boredom and anxiety,
Okay.
where we're fully engaged and utilizing our skills to their fullest potential.
This conversation is making me think about how much emphasis we put on achievement
Yeah.
in our society.
Right.
Maybe we should be focusing more on the process of growth and mastery.
I think so too.
But let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
We've talked a lot about modern psychology,
Yeah.
but what about those ancient philosophers? What wisdom did they have to offer about happiness?
Well, for centuries, philosophers have grappled with this very question.
Right.
And while their approaches differed, one common thread across many ancient schools of thought is the emphasis on virtue and character as pathways to a fulfilling life.
That makes sense. It's like they understood that true happiness wasn't just about fleeting pleasures,
Yeah.
but about cultivating inner qualities that lead to a life well lived.
Exactly. Take Ben Franklin, for example.
Yeah.
He was obsessed with self-improvement and famously created a virtue table
A virtue table.
to track his daily progress in cultivating 13 virtues.
Wait, he had a spreadsheet for moral improvement.
Well, not a spreadsheet exactly,
Yeah.
but he carried a little booklet and meticulously tracked his adherence to virtues,
Okay.
like temperance, order, industry, and humility. He literally gave himself marks
Wow.
for each virtue he practiced throughout the day.
It's like he gamified moral development.
He did.
But did it actually work?
While Franklin acknowledged he never achieved perfect moral perfection,
Okay.
he claimed that this daily practice made him a better and a happier man.
Interesting.
And it highlights a key point,
Yeah.
that consciously cultivating virtues,
Right.
even in small ways,
Yeah.
can have a significant impact on our overall well-being.
This reminds me of all the self-help books and apps we have today.
I know, right?
Seems like Franklin was way ahead of his time.
He was. And what's fascinating is that many of the virtues he emphasized,
Okay.
honesty, kindness, self-control, are echoed across different cultures and philosophical traditions.
Makes you wonder if there's something inherently human
Absolutely.
about these qualities. Something that resonates with our deepest desire
Yeah,
for happiness and fulfillment.
absolutely. And this bridges beautifully with modern research on altruism and the benefits of helping others.
Yes. I was just thinking about that.
Yeah.
There's something so fulfilling about doing something kind for someone else.
Right.
And now science is backing that up, right?
Exactly. Numerous studies have shown that acts of kindness, volunteering, and helping others boost our mood, reduce stress,
Yeah,
and even improve our physical health.
I believe it.
Hay even shares a powerful anecdote about one of his students named Julia.
Oh, right, Julia.
Yes, Julia was battling brain cancer
Oh, wow.
while also using her zest strength
Okay.
to help others. It's a remarkable testament to the transformative power of focusing outward,
Yeah.
even amidst personal challenges.
It's like that saying, the best way to cheer yourself up is to try to cheer somebody else up.
Precisely. And this ties back to the interconnectedness of happiness. It's not just about our internal state,
Right.
but also about how we engage with the world around us.
So it's not just about me, myself, and I,
Right.
but about recognizing that our happiness is intertwined with the well-being of others.
Exactly. And this brings us back to that crucial balance
Yeah.
between internal and external factors.
It seems like happiness arises from this intricate dance between our mindset, our character,
Yeah,
our relationships, and our purpose.
you've got it. And remembering Haidt's rider and elephant analogy,
Right.
learning to tame our emotional elephant and guide it towards fulfilling goals
Right.
seems to be a key part of the equation.
So we've covered a lot of ground, from negativity bias to virtue, from flow states to the progress principle.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take in.
It is.
But for someone listening who wants to apply these insights, where do they even begin?
that's the million-dollar question. And like we've been discussing, there's no single magic bullet,
Right.
but one recurring theme in both ancient wisdom and modern psychology is the importance of social connection.
It's like that saying, happiness is only real when shared.
Exactly. We're social creatures wired for connection.
Yeah.
Kate even highlights Emile Durkheim's work,
Okay.
which found that people with fewer social bonds and obligations were more likely to commit suicide. The sobering reminder that we need each other.
It really makes you think about those ancient philosophers
Right.
who emphasized community and virtue.
Yeah.
Maybe instead of striving for radical independence,
Mm-hmm.
we should focus on cultivating interdependence.
That's a fantastic way to put it.
Yeah.
It suggests that belonging to a family, a community, a group of friends is essential for our well-being.
So cultivating meaningful relationships should be high on our list.
It should.
What else can we do to boost our happiness quotient?
Another powerful idea is finding work that aligns with our strengths and values.
Okay.
Remember Csikszentmihalyi's concept of flow?
Oh, yeah, that feeling of being totally absorbed in what you're doing.
Yeah.
Is that what they call being in the zone?
Exactly. And research shows that people who view their work as a calling, something intrinsically fulfilling,
Right.
experience more flow and report higher levels of job satisfaction.
That makes sense. But what if you're stuck in a job that feels more like a job than a calling?
It's a tough situation for sure.
Yeah.
But even then, there might be ways to shift your perspective or identify aspects of your work that
Right.
do align with your strengths.
Right.
Maybe it's reframing your role, seeking out new challenges, or connecting with the bigger purpose behind your work.
So it's not necessarily about making drastic changes, but about finding those pockets of meaning and engagement
Right.
within your current situation.
Precisely. And this brings us back to the progress principle.
Okay.
It's not just about achieving the big goals,
Right.
but about finding joy in the journey, even at work.
Okay.
Maybe we can apply that same principle to our professional lives. Focusing on making small, incremental improvements each day.
Yeah.
Mastering new skills, tackling challenging projects, and building strong relationships with colleagues.
So even if our job isn't our dream job,
Right.
we can still find ways to make it more fulfilling.
Absolutely. And who knows, those small steps might eventually lead you to a path that feels more aligned with your true calling.
This has been such an eye-opening deep dive.
Yeah, it has.
I feel like I've gained a whole new perspective on happiness.
Me too. And it's a great reminder that happiness isn't some finish line we cross. It's an ongoing process of cultivating the right mindset.
Yeah.
Engaging in meaningful activities and nurturing our relationships.
So if ancient wisdom and modern science are converging on similar truths about happiness, what small change can you, dear listener, make today to align your life with those truths? Maybe it's reaching out to an old friend, expressing gratitude to someone special, or taking a few moments to savor a simple pleasure. The journey to a fulfilling life is ongoing, and the insights we've explored today can be powerful guides along the way. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.